Welcome to the show. It's Tuesday. That means it's time for What the Fuck Tuesday, the live stream relationship advice show here on the Debsterism channel. We do this on Tuesday nights. This is the regular night. We've added for the next few, I guess about the next 2 months, an additional show on Friday. So, if you're seeing this video, you want to have more fun, you free on Friday night, roll on through at the same time, 6 p.m. Pacific, which is 9 if you're on the East Coast. So, what we do here, for those of you who just kind of wandered in, is people sending their advice questions in advance. My lovely cousin Candace puts them into a document for me, which she emails with a super secret cover sheet that looks like this. And she tells me what the date of the show is so I don't get confused and how many questions that we have. I used to have to rifle through and look to the back when she started putting on the cover, so this works out really well. So I don't have to do all of that. But yeah, today we have 24 questions. And the way it works is since she's done the questions, I don't see them. So when I read them to you, I'm hearing them for the first time, just like you. And please don't ask, well, what is they talking about? What do they mean? But I don't know. I don't know any more about it than you do. Okay? So whatever it says here, that's all we both know. All right? So don't ask me crazy questions. All right? Let's get started because we got 24 questions. We don't want to be here all night. Question number one. This is a female in the 40 to 45 age group from Auckland, New Zealand. My boyfriend of 5 months seemed to be very preoccupied with my attire and me going topless. Let me explain. We travel often to, please do. We travel often to nice hotels, etc. on the weekends, and one of the trips he suggested is that we should go to a nude beach. He didn't take off his pants, but he wanted me to take off my top. I reluctantly did it. I wasn't thrilled about it, but he said he really loved it. When we traveled last month, he was obsessed with buying me clothes for the trip. He wanted me in some very revealing tops, and when I wore them, he would take pictures of me at dinner, etc. He was taking pictures of my cleavage, which he says he is proud of. He was also adamant that the resort we stayed at had a European bathing section. He walked across the resort with me to see that area to see if anyone's out there topless. The way he was walking was as if he was obsessed or something. No one was topless, and he decided he didn't want to go by the pool after all. He opted for drinks and a nap instead. His birthday's coming up, and he mentioned that he wanted to take me to a private adult resort. I'm pretty naive, but I have a feeling going topless is just the tip of the iceberg at a place like that. He's 55. This old booger bear. I'm 44. Would you find this disturbing? Would I? I don't even know where to start on this. You know, okay, first of all, he's ancient. Okay, how you gonna be 55 and trying to drag around and look at some tatas like you ain't never seen any before or something? This guy is weird. And I'm gonna tell like every woman listening to this, is the volume still low? Did I move my mic? Is that better? I don't know. Sometimes I don't notice my microphone might not be close to by my mouth enough. Hopefully this is a little better. Um, okay, that's what it was. My mic was too low. I am so sorry. I didn't even pay attention because I was running late to get, to over into my seat. Um, where was I? Oh, okay. This I want this message to go to every woman listening to this. Anytime you are with a man and he asks you to do something that involves your body, okay, your physical body, your time, your energy, anything about you, and it's like it's not affecting him, it's just affecting you, and you're not comfortable with it, don't do it. You don't give in to men to make them happy. I mean, what are you, a puppet? With some kind of a toy. That's not the whole purpose of having an adult relationship. Both people are supposed to be getting something out of it. And if the only one who's getting something, you're getting humiliated and feeling embarrassed, and he's getting his jollies on, leading you around like putting you on display and stuff. I'm not sure what dude's problem is, but I would have told him, hell no, you want to see somebody topless? Take your shirt off and let's see the moves you got. Let's do that. Okay? Because I'm not about putting myself on display for other people's freaky entertainment. That's not what I'm here for. So I don't know. Personally, I would have been broken up with him because it's just not that much. I don't know. I just feel like he would be really pressing my boundaries for his own pleasure. It's like he's like using you like a tool to get his freak on. It's one thing if you guys are doing this together and it's both of you guys, okay, and you're both doing it. You know what I mean? You're both a willing participant. This is the kind of thing where he wants it. He doesn't participate. He just wants you to do it. Nah, nah, nah. And first of all, he's 55 years old. Oh, grandpa, sit your behind down somewhere and tell him that you don't want to go to any private adult resort. You're right, that's going to be probably full nudity and a whole bunch of other stuff going on. So if I were you, I would pass on that and I would pass on dude. There has to be more men than that that you could date in Auckland, New Zealand. Okay? Yeah, he old and weird and a freak. No. Let's move on to question number 2. Female, 22 to 25 in the UK. How do I ask another woman to hang out as friends without her thinking I'm weird or coming off like I'm hitting on her? This is the story. There's a girl who works at a local shop I shop at frequently. She's super nice, and today she recognized when I was going to check out. She's very helpful and the vibes are just great. I want to ask her to hang out just as a friend. I don't have any girlfriends in my life, and it's very difficult for me to make friends outside of school or work because I just don't have a lot of time. Plus, everything was shut down for so long for COVID. Any ideas how I can go about asking her without it being weird or seeming like I want to date her? I'm 24, by the way. Should I give her a card or note? I know it's strange and awkward because there will be people behind me in line, and she's literally working, but yeah, I want girlfriends to hang out with. Any advice is appreciated. Thanks so much. Oh, that's hard because she's at work. Hmm. I guess if you're in the checkout line and there's lines of people behind you in line, a note or a card or something like that would be about the only thing you could do. Hmm. Unless you found out when her break time was and you magically showed up then, but I don't know, she might think that was weird too. This is kind of challenging. Usually, this kind of thing is more natural if you are in, like, say, a work environment, is someone in a social club or at the gym. I mean, someplace where you see them frequently, but they're not necessarily working. They're a patron just like you, then it's pretty organic and it's not really a big deal. This is kind of challenging because you don't know what the regulations are at her job, and you might inadvertently get her in trouble. So I'm gonna say that you might quickly say, I don't really have a lot of friends in this area. Would you be open to hanging out, just as friends and, just have a drink or something like that? So or maybe introduce me to some other women or something because by myself a lot and that would be really great. Something like that. How long did that take? 20 seconds? And then she might say, yeah. And if she says, yeah, that sounds good or something like that, then you could give her your number. Just have it ready, get her permission first because she might say, no, that's kind of weird or whatever. You don't know how her response is going to be. But if she's, willing, amenable to it, then you say, okay, I was hoping you would say that. Here's my number. Just, reach out to me anytime you get ready or whatever after work or whatever. And thank you so much. I think it'll be really nice to get to know somebody my own age and stuff like that. Just lightweight. Yeah, that's what I just said, Dee Dee. And, we don't know uh, what it is, but usually they're looking more like, for the customers to be hitting on them or them to be hitting on the customers, in a very, in an overt way. But the way that it would be couched, like, I don't know many women in this area, I'm just going to school and work, I'm just spending all this time by myself. It would be fun to have somebody my own age to hang out with sometimes. Bam, and it's a different kind of a different kind of approach, different language. That yeah, let me take you out sometime, girl. You kind of fine. This and that. You know how men do. They don't have any kind of couth, and they always gonna make it sound kind of greasy. So this would be a different thing to do. I would try that approach. The worst that could happen is that she would say, I can't do that because it's my job, or, no, thank you, or something like that. In which case, you could just say, okay, well, uh, thanks anyway, or something like that. Just smile and wave. Don't take it as a personal rejection. Just go on about your business and still affiliate with her and socialize and talk to her just as we normally do because she may change her mind. Okay. Yeah, I could imagine that would be pretty lonely at 22, 23, because I had a lot of friends at that age. I didn't have them by the time I got about 30, but at that age, you just, yeah, friends are important for young girls, young ladies. Question number 3, male, 22 to 25, out of London. I am a grown man, not a child, so there's no issues there. In spite of that, I was shocked to learn that there are 11 adult images in a gallery on a popcorn site of my own mama. I was even more shocked to learn that the images are not owned by my mother, but the site does have consent from her to display them. Therefore, I could not have them removed even though I tried. However, my mother is absolutely mortified that I came across them. Apparently, she never considered that possibility, but she also insists that I should just forget about it as she could not have them removed now even if she asked. I personally really, really want those pictures removed, and I feel she should do more. I have not spoken about this with anyone I know and never will. However, I was actually told by the individual that owns the gallery to F off and I should mind my own business and just not look at them then. It was this reaction actually that shocked me to the core. I actually was really angry. I could have shouted at this person if I had the chance. Should my mother do more to do the right thing, or should I actually mind my own business and allow some keyboard warrior to tell me to F off instead of at least being pleasant about my request? Okay, see, the way that you're responding, it's not a request, it's a fucking demand. Okay, this is a demand. You demand it. Don't be trying to couch this like you didn't, because that's the only way that somebody reason why somebody will respond to you like this. You demanded that they take them down, and they told you to f off. Because if you had asked nicely, the person would have said, "Oh well, we have consent from the owner, and I'm sorry that's not possible. We paid money for these images, and they're going to stay." That's how they would have responded to you if you had come at them like politely, like you had some damn sense. But you came in like, you was ruler of the world or something. And so that's why you got talked to like that. Now, your mama is a grown woman. She knew what she was doing when she took those pictures. You ain't her daddy. You're not her husband. You just a kid to her. So you don't have any kind of say so about what your mother does with her body, whether it's on the internet, in her bedroom, on the street, on a wall, in a car, on a train, on a bus, on a plane. You don't have no say so, sir. She's a grown woman. She gonna do what she wants to do. So what you have to do is just get over it. Okay, now if you don't want to go on that site, just block yourself from it. You know how you could do that where you put it in your browser where you can't go to that site? It's like blocked or something. I forgot how you could do it in your unapproved sites list. A lot of men, young men like this, they cannot stand the fact that their mother has a sex life. That's what that is. See, they want to think, I don't know how they think they got here. Okay, let's just start there. Were you like the Immaculate Conception? Your mother never touched a man, but you somehow magically appeared? Is that what they like to think? I be wondering sometimes because they all react like this. They just can't believe that their mother would be getting her swerve on. It's just kind of unbelievable. But sir, your mother is very comfortable. Obviously, she was at that point anyway, very comfortable with her body. She didn't mind taking the pictures. She probably enjoyed it. She had a good time doing it and she got paid. Shut up. Just don't look at them then. The main thing is like she now that you talking about you mortified that you came across them. She's mortified that her son goes on popcorn sites looking at nude women. Okay, so the mortification is mutual. Just get over it. Ew. Yeah, he had to be. I don't know what he was. I don't know. I don't know what would I would do. I know my mother would never do anything like that because she's too. Oh, my mother. Let me tell you a story about my mother. My mother was an RN, and she was very. I mean, she's that kind of person. When I was going to school, right? And she would wear like these she'd have her shoes and her handbags would be matching. And when she was dressed up, she would wear little gloves and stuff. I mean, it was just like straight out of some Donna Reed movies or something. And she, her and my grandma, they wear the little hats and whatnot, and they just look like a flash from the past. I don't know where she got that from. Put her little pearls on and whatnot. And so that was my mother, very, very, I think what they call now bougie. Okay, so I remember one time oh my God, I was so embarrassed. My parents were friends with this other couple. Oh, yeah, she was very cute. And then my parents were friends with this other couple, right? And they had a son who liked me. Okay, first of all, this son, remember that movie Creature from the Black Lagoon? That boy looked I mean, that could have been his daddy. Okay, that's what that boy looked like. And he liked me. There was nothing mutual. At that age, I wasn't even into boys at that age. I think I was probably about 14. But I really, I was into my Girl Scouts and doing gardening and a bunch of other stuff. I really wasn't thinking about boys at that point. But he liked me, and my older brother told me, and it was like, you better watch out. This that. So I had this pencil sharpener, the old school kind that I had bought, and he was installing it on the wall in my room for me, right? So my mother, after he leaves, my mother comes into my room and she says, "Were you and I'm not gonna say his name, ex kissing?" I was horrified. I just wanted to die. I was like, "Ew, no, ew, why would I do that?" And my mother says, "Oh, I thought I should ask because, he had an erection." That's what that's what my mother said to me. I thought I was going to die. You see, I was talking about it now. I'm still like, I feel hot and embarrassed. Oh my God, I thought I was going to die for real. I don't know. I just, and this is a true story. It's just like that woman. I tell you, that woman. And she just like, so matter of fact with the whole thing. Like, oh, I just wanted you to know. Okay, first of all, was I even looking at him like that? I wasn't looking down there. I wasn't even looking at his face. I was looking at the pencil sharpener, whatever I was doing. I was not paying that boy no attention. I wouldn't have known what he had going on in his pants. Oh my God, I thought I was going to die. I still wanted to die. Oh, yeah, she was very prissy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she was tiny. She's like 5'2" and small. I should find a picture of her. I had a picture I had showed at one point of my parents, good looking people. And but honey, she was so. But anyway, I digress. I just bringing back memories. So anyway, yeah, I could never see my mother doing anything like that. In other words, okay. Question number 4: female, 21 to 25, from Taipei, Taiwan, now studying in Los Angeles. That's what it says. Sorry for my English in advance if there is any confusion. Basically, I'm writing to you for some good words to use. The problem is that my boyfriend calls me, quote, a good girl and refuses to stop. He says it's part of his personality and I'm trying to change him when I tell him what he can and can't say to me. My boyfriend is white, slightly older, mid 30s, and lives in New York. We've been fighting over this for a couple of weeks. It was an issue for me too. Before that, too, I just ignored it because a few times I asked him to stop, he lashed out at me. I've tried explaining that it feels demeaning to me, and especially so if we're discussing some topic that I have a lot to say about. It makes me feel like he doesn't see me as an equal, but rather as a child, and I find it a bit disrespectful. I'm salty because I used to call him, "Oh, look at you picking up on the lingo. Girl, go girl." I'm salty because I used to call him a cutesy name too, but stopped right after he told me that he didn't like it. So I started leaving any conversations. We usually talk online since we're currently long distance, where he calls me a good girl. I think I've been handling it pretty calmly. I tell him that I love him and then I'll talk to him in a bit and go. That usually doesn't go well, and we stop talking for the rest of the day, although our record is 3 days. It's always the same. He says I'm being controlling and difficult and sulks, and I get annoyed because I feel like I can't get my point across. I don't want to be controlling, but at the same time, I don't want to be called a name that makes me feel bad. How can I establish this boundary without feeling like a horrible person for hanging up on him? Am I explaining myself in a weird way? Let me tell you what you do with this. Okay. Find the hoest outfit that you could find. Put on tons of makeup. Okay, do your hair in some 1980s bouffant teased up style and wear them big old hoop earrings and just look as hood as you can. I'm sure. Where are you again? Oh, you in LA. Oh girl, yes. Go over to the hood and tell them sisters to put you some what they call them goddess braids in your hair and make them different colors and stuff and you just look as hoochie as you possibly can. And then you get on the camera with him and you say, I want to tell you about how good I am. I went and I kissed a black man today, tongue all down his throat. And he was not saying anything about me being a good girl, talking to me like I'm a child, like you do. He saw me as a grown woman who was hot and sexy, and I liked that shit. And then you stand up and you show him your hoochie. Then you get to twerking on on the camera, and you let him see that and see what he says about you being a good girl after that. I bet you them words will never cross his lips. I'm just suspicious, since you're Asian, you're probably petite. And so, a lot of these dudes have these fantasies of you know, you being like, even though you're an adult, he can fantasize that you're a child. You get my point? So calling you a good girl, you see where I'm going with this? That's some sick and twisted shit. That's why you need to get them to put you some of them butterfly eyelashes on, and I'm telling you, big old goo earrings, and some nails that look all crazy. They like to wear all them different color nails, girl, and you just work it all out, and you just do everything. Just be the most. Okay, just be the most. Crack gum, do the whole nine. Wear him out. He will never forget that shit. And I bet you he will stop calling you a good girl too. Because he will be so stunned and so shocked and so just like his mind will be blown. And then you say, yeah, and it was good too. And his lips was nice and still thick and full, unlike yours. They're so thin I could barely feel them. Oh, and he was young and hot and muscular. Oh, I thought I was going to die, pressed up against all that muscle man. I would just wear him. I would say all kind of crazy shit to him just to wear him out because you are putting up a boundary and he's violating it. So what you do is you just fuck him up. Okay? Fuck him up. Like I always say, you fight fire. You don't fight fire with fire. You fight it with a flamethrower. And so you're going to use a flamethrower and you're going to light his ass smooth up. Yeah, I'm telling you. She white chocolate. She's a little Asian girl. She's from Taiwan. She's Taiwanese. But yeah, just go look at some rap videos and put your the outfit together like the little hoochie's wearing the rap video and wear that. I'm telling you, that will mess his mind up. He will never ever call you that again. And problem will be solved. Plus, you'll have a lot of fun. Be sure to take pictures. Send me one. Question number 5. Male, 22 to 25 from Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm recovering from a hip replacement surgery due to arthritis I've had since childhood. Oh, ooh, I remember my mother had a little boy in her daycare. He had rheumatoid arthritis. Was that your letter, Joy? No, that could have been you. You don't look Asian to me unless you lied on the letter. But anyway, yeah, he had rheumatoid arthritis. This little kid was about 5 or 6 years old, and his hands was all. It was. I was so sad for him. Okay, so anyway, he says, I've been able to do some things after the surgery, but my girlfriend insists that I lie down and that she will be of assistance. But lately, she has been getting touchy with me. I've told her multiple times that I'm in a lot of pain and that I'm not in a comfortable position right now, but she doesn't want to hear it. I was going into the kitchen to go get a snack when I saw that she was putting something in what was supposed to be my drink. When I confronted her about it, she denied it and told me that I was probably just seeing things. Gaslighting? She ended up mistakenly dropping whatever she was hiding, and I saw that it was a Viagra pill bottle, which is when she finally confessed that she wanted to have eggplant, and this was the only way. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. You just had a hip replacement. You done already told the girl that you in pain, and she's thinking about that and drugging you to get it against your will. That's what you're telling me right now. Wow. I lashed out at her saying that she was crazy and that she had no right to do something like this to me. She told me that I'm not the only one with needs and that I'm being disrespectful because she takes care of me and I can't show her any love. She then tried to touch down there, to which I pushed her away. I asked my mom to come pick me up and I went to stay overnight at her house. And a friend called me and said that he understands my point of view, but everyone needs love every once in a while. So why couldn't I show that love? Wow, you need new friends. I don't know why, but for some reason I feel guilty even though I shouldn't even be considering couldn't considering the circumstances. Do you have any advice for me on how to handle this? Yes, break up. Break up, break up. Stay at your mom's house until you recover. Okay? Stay there where it's safe, where no one will be drugging you and no one will be trying to do something to you that could, mess up your surgery by putting you in a position that you're not supposed to be in physically until that joint heals up some. There are certain things like you can't extend that joint over 90 degrees even when it's fully healed. That's, one of the rules for a hip replacement. And there's you the wound is just too new. You shouldn't be doing anything like that until that has it mends into the joint like that. I really am kind of no, I'm not kind of, I'm extremely shocked that somebody would go to this length and be that selfish when somebody just got the fuck cut out of them and got their hip sawed on and replaced. That's all she could think about. You know what you're supposed to do? You say, tell your friend that called you. You say, well, you know what? Since I'm about to break up with the bitch, you go over there and you fuck her because I'm done. She don't care about me. She's not tripping about my what's been good for me long term or my health or anything. All she worried about is her fucking pussy. So you go over there and that could be your woman now, and y'all do live happily ever after. Yeah, this is she's. I mean, we're talking about narcissism to the ninth degree. I've never heard, seriously, I've never heard of anything like this. I've never heard of anything so disturbing that someone would treat someone like this. I mean, it's on the part of men after the woman had a baby who insist on, they want to get some a week after she delivered and all that kind of stuff. And it's on that kind of level. There's a certain people with a certain kind of mentality. All they think about them is themselves. And so where, the discomfort and you that's going to cause you physically is this doesn't, they don't care. They're just worried about themselves. So her mindset and them dudes that do that to their wives are the exact same mentality. It's all about me, me, me. Yeah, it makes me very sad for him too. That's why he needs to be, someplace where he can be safe, like at his mom's. Somebody who can run interference for him and protect him. Because right now, with his hip, that but they cut that bone and everything, and put that, that hip bone ball socket thing um, onto your what is it, the femur, and he's not. He's in excruciating pain. I can't believe this chick. Ooh, let's move on, man. I think every week I think we finished dealing with the triflingest people on the planet, and then here comes a new one. Question number 6: female, 35 to 39, no location provided. Hold on, I've got 2 pages here. I need one. Thanks. My boyfriend and I have been dating for almost 5 years. We both have young kids from previous marriages, 6, 7, and 8 years old, whom we love very much. We are 39 and 36, respectively. The kids and us do family outings, and I literally love him so much. I'm his number one cheerleader. We have an almost perfect relationship, except when he drinks. I'm not a drinker and never get drunk. My boyfriend loves beer and whiskey and can finish a whole bottle of wine or two once in a while. At the same time, I mean, all at once. Most of the time, he's not a horrible drunk. He'll get annoying, but it won't be so bad. And usually he can control it. But some rare gems, he'll throw some super hurtful things at me and basically vomit negativity and spite all over my feelings. I always heard the saying, a drunk man's words are a sober man's thoughts. That's right. So I usually take what he says while drunk to the heart. The next day, I won't call him at all until he usually calls me and asks what's wrong. I tell him what he says when he recalls he doesn't remember saying that and he was just drunk. Usually I let it go, but this time I'm pretty much over it. I don't think being drunk allows you to get freebies of taking jabs at your girlfriend. Is this just me? We have so much entwined with our life, so it's hard to just not talk to him. And our kids basically call each other siblings. We have talked so much about future goals and plans, but lately I just feel annoyed more than anything that he gets away with saying such hurtful things. Okay. Oh, that's it. Well, what's the problem? The problem, the issue, you trying to figure out how you can justify staying in a relationship with someone who verbally abuses you every time he has a drink and tries to use that as the excuse. You trying to use your kids and thinking that these people are their siblings. You know what? And let me tell you something. In black culture, we used to have something called play. We got play sisters, play brothers, play cousins, my play auntie, my this everybody's a play when but that means in our lingo is that it's not real. It's my fake, but I feel that way about this person kind of thing. So you got a play brother and a play sister, then that's all that is. It ain't real. So all you have to do is tell your kids, well, you're going to get played from somebody else. It's not going to be nothing associated with him because let me tell you how that's going to go. When them kids turn into teenagers, they got that alcohol gene from their daddy, that alcoholic gene, and they're going to have it too. They're going to have some kind of dependency. It could be drugs, it could be alcohol, it could be eggplant, it could be popcorn, it could be anything, gambling, sometimes the combination thereof. But if people have a gene for for dependencies, it manifests itself in different kinds of ways. I'm telling you, this is all stuff I didn't know when I was young. Had I known what I know now, I probably wouldn't have had no kids because I'd be looking at everybody and looking to see, do you have Down syndrome in your family? You got mental illness in your family? You got like short legs, short arms, you got them T-Rex arms, kind of birth defects. You got one eye, you got eyes real wide, eyes real close. People have like little bitty heads, all kind of shit be going on in these people's gene pools. And you don't understand that when you're young, that your kids are gonna catch that shit. It's like a cold. they they gonna catch it. And the next thing you know, you're gonna be having a kid with a smashed head and the eyes like a half inch apart and all that kind of looking like a fucking goldfish. No. And so I'm just, this kind of stuff here. This is a situation where you should not be making any plans with this man. You should be getting rid of this man. You don't want him to have any kind of things about about your kids. You know what I'm talking about? The kids, them people that look like they a fucking flounder. Their eyes are way one over here, one over there somewhere, and you be looking at them, they be turning to the side trying to figure out what the fuck they looking at. No, I don't do fucked up faces. I don't even want to see that. And then you have the situation where okay, you got kids. Okay, so you with somebody who's an alcoholic, right? He does crazy shit, and then he claims he didn't know what he was doing because he was drunk. Okay, so then he wanders into your daughter's room, and some bad stuff happens. What you gonna do? Because he gonna say, "Oh, I didn't know what I was doing because I was drunk." Don't you see where I'm going with this? This is somebody that you do not need to have around defenseless minor children. Get rid of this fool. I'm trying to tell you. I mean, y'all laughing, but I am serious as a heart attack. Exactly, them hills have eyes kind of people. That movie scared the fuck out of me. I just I didn't want to go camping for a long time after that. But I'm telling you, this is some crazy stuff right here, girlfriend. You need to get rid of him. You only 36 years old. Get escape from this situation. Advice questions must be written in, sir. These questions are pre-prepared, pre-selected. The link is in the show description down below, and your question might get on the show for Friday night. Yes, like a flounder. Yes, like the chat. Yes, if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscription button. All that. Let's move on to question number 7. E.T. was misbuilt, though. That head, that long finger, that like light bulb looking body. I can't with that. I never even saw that movie. I saw the what you call them, the poster preview, whatever things, and I was like, oh, I don't think I want to see that. I'm telling you, I don't like stuff that looks real weird like that. I can't. I don't want to see that. Question number 7, female 18 to 21, San Diego, California. Hello. Yes, girl, that neck looking like part giraffe or something on that little funny looking. No, he got like a koala bad body and a giraffe neck, and that head. I don't know what that head was supposed to be. Some kind of old dinosaur or something. They put together some real mismatch of stuff. And anyway, the bottom line is I didn't like what it looked like. So anyway, female 18 to 21, San Diego. Hello, I'm 21 and my boyfriend's 22 and my mother-in-law to be is 56. Okay. I'm getting married in 3 months. Me and my boyfriend planned our wedding already for the most part. We wanted a video game themed wedding. Oh, at 21 and 22, yeah, I can see where you might want that crazy. We wanted the cake to be a console we use on each layer. We wanted to have all the games we played together as decorations around the wedding. Oh, that sounds cute. We didn't want anything formal. If someone wants to show up in regular clothes, they can. We want to have pizza and barbecue, and it to be a simple, small wedding in a backyard. Nothing crazy, expensive, or preppy. When we got engaged, we told his parents and mine. For some reason, his mother took that as she needs to plan everything for our wedding and tell us what we can and can't do. She told us we can't have a game themed wedding. It must be traditional. Everyone needs formal clothes. Her family must wear blue because she has a boy, and my side must wear pink since I'm a girl. Okay. She wants to rent out some very expensive place and they serve food, which is horrible and preppy food. I know I won't eat and none of my friends will either. She wants simple traditional music with harps and violins. We want old time music like Frank Sinatra. Wow, this is going to be an interesting wedding. She wants everything her way, and it upsets us both. We already caught her once planning with the family behind her back. We keep in mind my boyfriend and I are paying for everything. She's not investing a dime in our wedding, and neither is anyone else. She would lie to my boyfriend's uncle, saying that my boyfriend himself wants him to be our DJ when we don't. She does. My boyfriend had to awkwardly explain to him and several other family members we never asked for these things and that she lied. It was embarrassing and stressful. She calmed down for a while, but yesterday on Easter Sunday was the biggest fuck you I've gotten from her. My boyfriend has gastritis and had a flare up yesterday, so instead of being at the big Easter party his mom threw, I was in our room taking care of him. I forgot to mention we live with her very temporarily. His family was all outside in the living room having fun. I came out to get my boyfriend his stomach medicine that I keep in the fridge. His mom grabbed me and forced me outside to his aunt and cousin. She then said to me, she has something she wants to ask you, and I looked at them all quick, very confused. So then she does this annoyed noise and says she wants to know if you'll be her maid of honor. And I got extremely pissed off. I told everyone, especially her from the beginning, my mother was going to be mine. My mom has been there for me through some rough shit in my life, and I wanted to honor her with that. I got upset and gave her a look, but I didn't say anything because we were in front of all the family. I knew she did it on purpose, so I couldn't blow up without making myself look like an asshole. So I took off inside and told my boyfriend who got very upset because he knows how much this means to me. It's today now, and I really need advice telling this to this cousin. She's a very nice girl, and I hate to upset her. At this point forward, if his mother plans anything else, she can't come to our wedding. We haven't talked to her yet, but either today when we are both home from work. I hate the stress I'm feeling. That was such a shit move for her to do. Okay, miss, how did I say you were? Shit, this letter's so goddamn long. You 21 and your boyfriend's 22. Y'all need to grow a pair. Okay, you about to be married, which means at some point soon you will be parents. So what you were that golden opportunity in front of everyone to stand up there, you don't have to be mad. You just have to be an adult. And you say, "Excuse me. I'm very sorry, but you will not be my maid of honor. My mom is going to be my maid of honor. I've already asked her and that position is taken." Another thing I want to say to all of you is whatever dude's name is, the groom and I are planning our wedding. Nothing that she is asking you to do and nothing that she's saying to you about this wedding will happen. These are all her fantasies. She doesn't have a daughter, like yeah, I'm guessing, right? So she's trying to take over my wedding, which is a role for my mother, not her. Her son is the groom, not the bride. So you don't get to plan anything. That's not your role. Okay, you need to stay in your envelope. But I really, I apologize to anyone who may have been confused and got their hopes up about being at a wedding. That's not going to happen. We already have everything planned out. I appreciate your courtesy. My apologies once again. And then you turn around and go and I'm on what you call it what's that purple channel? It's a gaming thing. I have a channel on there. My videos feed over there too. So they find there's a lot, that's where the gamers are, and that's what a lot of my stuff goes over there. So that's how they find me. Um, Not Reddit. It's another. It's purple. I can't Twitch. That's it. I have a channel on Twitch, and so that's where they find me. Um, Yeah, this is what you guys are gonna have to find your voice, and you can't do it to her evidently you've talked to her and it hasn't worked. You're going to have to do it in front of everybody so that she shut down. Okay, now what also you can do is you don't have to have a video themed wedding. Okay, you can have a video themed reception. Okay, think about this now for a minute now. You can have a more private wedding. You, your dude, your mom, not his mom, but somebody on his side, his best friend or whatever, his best man, and that's it. Okay, that's it. You all can go to a justice of the peace, down to the county courthouse. You can do something like that to get married. Then you have a party after, and it's like it's a celebration of the fact that you're married, and it could be any way you want to because you're already married, and it's just a party that a married couple's having. It removes all that pressure of this. It has to be this, and you have to have violins, you have to have an orchestra, a DJ, and wear a long dress, and it removes all of that because all that is a moot point now because you're already married. You feeling me? So think about that and how you feel about that because all the stuff that you're talking about, it sounds like most of it is at the reception anyway, right? The cake with the games and all. I mean, all do pizza, barbecue, all the stuff that you mentioned has nothing to do with the actual wedding. This is all the reception, the party after stuff. So you can still do all of this, but you're gonna already be married, and then you're gonna surprise her by telling her, "Oh, we already took care of that. We're already married. You missed it because you don't know how to act." And that's what I would do. I bet you she'll never get in your mix again. Let's move on to question number 8. We have 24 questions today, in case you were wondering. 24 lovely, long questions. This is from a young man in the 18 to 21 age group in the UK. I had this friend that I've helped so many times in terms of money, moral support, and more. I didn't expect anything from her just because I helped her, though. This is a problem. One day she attacked me with hurtful words, saying that I become arrogant because I'm going to college and the college that I'm going to is making the students arrogant, etc. I didn't even save myself from her. I didn't even say anything bad to her or mock her. I'm not the type of person who brags about myself. That was the last time I saw her. Months later, she already born her baby, and the months later, she again chatted me, "How are you? Sorry about last time." I didn't respond to her because I don't know what to say. That was last year. Several days ago, she had multiple comments in a certain post on social media. She was relating it to herself. It's a post of not getting to explain your side, and many people have anger to her. The second is a post about having a degree is a waste if you can't respect. And she commented that it's true. The others out there, just because they are studying, they are arrogant already. Well, good luck. I don't know, but I can feel that her apology is not sincere, and because I didn't respond, she became angry about it and still thinks I'm arrogant. I feel like I'm the victim, yet I'm still the bad guy here. What's wrong with you? Don't you have any kind of testosterone in your whole body? You don't have no nuts? You're supposed to light her ass up. What kind of bitch shit is this? You more like the girl than her. You gonna let somebody talk to you like that and you don't fire them up? Dude, you are a young man right now, but you need to figure out how you going to handle yourself in the world because you cannot go through life like this. This is some baby bullying, and you folding up like a bad poker hand already. This is what you do. Okay, you helped her all this time, and then she says something about you being arrogant or whatever. You know what you're supposed to do is say, "Yeah, I'm arrogant because you jealous." That's what that is. You're jealous because I'm going to college and you not. You're arrogant. You feel bad because I am going to be better than you. I'm going to make more money than you. I'm going to have more education than you. I'm just going to generally be a better person with a far better opportunities than you, and you can't stand it. That's what's really going on. You a jealous little bitch, ain't ya? That's what you were supposed to say to her. And just tell you she was just sitting there sputtering because it would be true, and she wouldn't know she wouldn't have a comeback for that, right? But right now, she's running in circles around you, and she's doing all of this because you're not saying anything to her. You're just letting her, act stupid. So she had a baby and all this stuff, and she's on social media, and you seeing it. You're supposed to say, "Shut up, you baby breeding bitch! You sitting up there having miscellaneous stray kids. Where's your wedding at? You don't have no ring." Yeah, I think I can be arrogant because at least I'm not a baby mama, baby daddy neither. Stuff like that. Hurt her feels. Every time she wants to say that, people not getting to explain your side, you explained your side when you started calling me arrogant, bitch. So now you don't get to say nothing else to me because I'm too arrogant to listen to you. Arrogant people don't give a fuck about people who are not on their level. And that would be me, and then you're the one that's not on my level. So I don't know what to tell you. So stuff like that, you see what I'm saying? You just get dirty with her and just light her ass up because she's coming at you in a way that is so disrespectful, especially with the history of you have helping her and doing stuff for her, and this is how she treats you. After you do that, I want you to go on your phone and I want you to find her number and I want you to block it. And then I want you to go on social media and all the pages and everything that you have, including your email where she can communicate to you. I want you to block her on those two so that you never see her anywhere online again. You'll never have any further interaction with her. And if you have some mutual friends that you know she's going to use to get to you, you block them as well. You blow them, you just, block everybody. Because really, if you're going to be going to school, you're not going to have time to be playing around on social media. Now, if you want to get some good grades, you're going to every time your ass will be sitting around flipping through Facebook or some other site like TikTok or something, that's time that you should be studying. Okay? So you're not going to have time. You could just close the whole account altogether, but you probably don't want to do that. So just block her. Let's move on to question number 9, female 18 to 21 from Scarborough, Canada. Sue probably knows where that is. I've never heard of it. I had been dating this guy for a while and he broke things off, saying he no longer had any feelings and just wanted to be friends. So I tried to be his friend and recently broke things off when he wouldn't talk to me anymore. And when he did, it was short/annoyed responses. And when I told him how that made me feel and that I needed to step away from this situation, he apologized and said he did not distance himself from me and that he was sorry. He cares a lot for me and that I was important to him. I feel very lost on it all. I cared very much for him, but I'm not sure where I stand. I feel manipulated in a way. What is your take on this situation? My take on the situation is that you are young and dumb. You're young and dumb. Oh, it's outside. It's outside of Toronto. Okay. Um, you're young and dumb, and that's the unfortunate thing about being young and naive. There's a lot of stuff about life that you don't know, so let me school you so you never make this mistake again. If someone breaks up with you and they throw you that friendship bone, you say, no, thank you. I'm not trying to be your friend. You suck. Okay, it's like we try to have a relationship, and now you want to try to demote me to friends. So you think that's gonna be you're gonna throw me some little bone, and I'm gonna be okay with that? I don't want your friendship. I don't want to look at you. I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to smell you. I don't want to see your emails. I don't want to see your texts. I don't want to see your pictures. I don't want anything to do with you. Okay, so we're done here, sir. And you never accept friendship. And see, that's what you did. You thought he meant it. That's how I know you're very young and naive. You thought that he really meant that. And that's kind of amazing to me that you would even want to be friends with somebody who dumped you like that. Why would you think that that could be a friend of yours when somebody did something like that and treat you so callously in that way? Do you understand what a friend is? That's not a friend. And so you should have thought about this and you could have figured that out if you gave it enough thought. But instead, you being a typical woman, you just listen to the words that he said. Cause he say, well, he say, we gonna be friends. He say this, so you want to bug the fuck out of him, text him and call him and stuff just like you still dating. That's not how it works. You block them and then you never speak to them again. It's called going no contact. All right. You may care for him, but it wasn't mutual. Okay. Accept that. For a relationship to work, the feelings have to be mutual on both sides. One person caring about the other person not giving a fuck. Well, that's not a relationship. I don't know what that is, but it's nothing that's going to ever work. And it's nothing that's ever going to happen. So you need to leave it alone. Just wake up. Yeah, I don't want to hear nothing. It's just like in War of the Roses, my favorite scene. I hate the way you chew. I hate the way you look. I hate everything about you. Yeah, I love that part. I don't know these young girls, and so this is the thing. that, a lot of young girls don't seem to get. When somebody says, well, let's be friends, they're really saying, I don't want to be your friend, bitch. I don't want to see you at your ass. I don't give a fuck about you. That's what they're really saying. But they're trying to couch it in a way that makes it palatable for them to exit stage left without you breaking into tears and all that stuff. That's what they're trying to do because they don't want to deal with your emotions. They just want to escape. And so they throw that at you. And then you who are, don't understand what's going on. Oh, okay. Well, I guess it won't be so bad. We weren't dating, but we're still friends. He's not your friend. He don't want to see you. He don't want to talk to you. That's why you got the short answers. And that's why he was annoyed because he couldn't figure out why the fuck is this bitch still texting me? She don't understand. I'm done with her. That's why I dumped her. Okay, that's what he's thinking. That's why he's giving you them short, annoyed responses. Then he can see that you all sensitive in your feeling. Well, this is hurting me. I need to step away. Step away. There's nothing to step away from. They were broken up. Did you forget? Wow. Well, I mean, but everybody, she's not even settling for crumbs. There's no crumbs. Okay, there's nothing. There's nothing but it's in her imagination. Okay, there's nothing there. He made that quite clear. Normal people would have got that, okay? But young romantics, romantic eyed, rose colored glasses people don't see reality. They see the fantasy that they want to see. That's why I'm giving her a reality check. All right. Let's move on to question number 10. This is a female in the 26 to 29 age group from Concord, California. Oh, that's not too far from here. Deb, my boyfriend of 4 months invaded my privacy. Ooh, and she put hella exclamation marks. For context, this man is the most thoughtful, kind, caring man I've ever met. He's not the jerk type. He's the safest option I've ever had. Okay. However, I was undergoing the illusion that he would never go through my phone, and he did. Of course, I have to take responsibility for that since I gave him my password, but still. He found out about one of my ex-lovers he made friends with online in a gaming group outside of his relationship with me. He got angry and broke up with me on the spot. I then explained I shouldn't have to disclose my love life to anyone if I don't want to, and he backtracked. He feels he acted that way because it's his first serious relationship and he wants another chance. But now I'm not sure if he's the person I thought he was. I don't know if I can trust him anymore. I feel guilty because I feel so numb to the whole situation. Like I hardly feel any love or hatred toward him, and I really don't know what to do. Like, do I give up this great guy and regret it, or do I give up what I thought was a great guy and move on with my life? Okay, I'm trying to understand something. I mean, why did you give him passwords to your stuff, and you've only been with this dude for 4 months? Nobody has my password. Well, Candace has the password to that one email account, but that's because she has to do this. And I don't get anything personal on there. Everything's connected with this YouTube channel or the web, the blog. It's not nothing personal. But other than that, nobody has any of my passwords. So I'm trying to figure out what possessed you to give him the password to your code to your phone so he could go in your phone. So it's like basically you said, "Oh, here, check my phone, and here's how you do it." So then when he did it, now you say you don't trust him. I don't get that. I'm good to, but if it's you say right now, and this is really bad because you said you feel numb, you don't feel love or hatred. When a woman gets to that point where she just feels nothing, she's just totally neutral, the relationship is over. So just acknowledge that, whatever feelings you have for him are dead and just move on from this situation. There's no way to come back from this, nothing that you can save here once you reach that point where you just feel nothing for this guy. You're not mad, you're not sad, you're not happy, you're not glad, nothing. You just feel nothing. Then it's a wrap. Okay? So he's a great guy, I suppose. He's the safest option. I mean, you chose him because he was safe. That bothered me when I first read this sentence. That bothered me. You chose him because he was the safest option. Hmm. Yeah. You don't choose a man because he's a safe option. You choose a man, especially you're going to be with him and park yourself right next to him. You choose him because there's mutual respect, admiration, understanding, communication, and love. And to me, all five of them things got to be present. It can't just be love. I mean, because love without them other things is just pointless, as we see from so many relationship letters that come through this advice column. They love each other, but it's all kinds of fuckery going on. So love is not enough. That's not going to really work. You need more. All right. And more women need to pay attention to that and look for, the whole kit and caboodle. This is kind of disturbing. But anyway, let's move on. Nothing much I can do here. It was only together for 4 months, so big whoop de doo. Just let it go. Question 11, male 60 to 65 from Durham, North Carolina. I'm a 63-year-old man who has lived with but not married to the same woman for 15 years. We get along well but had not been intimate in many years for a variety of reasons. Wow, do people still do it at that age? We sleep in separate in separate bedrooms. She's very religious. I'm not. We do not share a lot of common interests and spend most of our time in separate rooms. We retired and moved out of Alabama a few years ago, and our kids and grandkids are scattered all across the country. We have not seen any of them in several years because of COVID and financial considerations. Because of health and other factors, she has not been employed in years, and we live on my pension and savings. She gets a small Social Security check which covered her basic expenses. This is rapidly dwindling due to increased cost of living and a few unexpected major expenses. Part of our reason for moving was the prospect of good job opportunities for her. She's had many successful jobs in the past, but since living here, none of those has panned out. We are basically living as roommates. After brush with death a few years ago, I gained a new outlook on life and became more interested in becoming active. However, due to some health issues, she's not able to lead an active lifestyle, so we stay home most of the time. Due to COVID, this has pretty much been mandatory, but as things return to normal, I have a desire to travel. I have become very unhappy in the last few years. I'm tired of this lifestyle. We are talking about moving back to our home state to be somewhat closer to our kids, but also for a cheaper cost of living. Moving here has not turned out to be what we hoped. I would like to use this as an opportunity to part ways, but I do not want to hurt her. While I love her, it is no longer in a romantic sense. She's a good woman that has a lot of pain, and I don't wish to add to it. But she is also not financially able to support herself, and I don't see her kids taking her in or being much help. I worry that if we part, that she will spend the rest of her life alone. I feel trapped and feel like I must sacrifice my future happiness for the sake of hers. I find myself in deep depression at times and have thoughts of suicide, but I know that I would never act on it because I know firsthand the effects it has on others. I deeply care for this woman and know that she loves me unconditionally, which is what makes it so hard. Is it wrong for me to want some happiness in my life, my few remaining years, if it means depriving someone else of their future happiness? I would like to meet someone that shares my interest and that is active and have some fun again before I go. I'd like to be in love again and not just be two people that share a home together. I know there's no real answer to this. Either way, someone is going to suffer tremendously. Any ideas that you have for how I can handle this are appreciated. Well, what you're going to have to do, she's on Social Security. So, whatever things that she's entitled to as a low income person, that might be subsidized housing, that might be assisted living since she has health issues, that might be food stamps, Medicaid or whatever they got in where'd you say, Alabama or wherever it is. There has to be some kind of social services support that she can get, in-home support services to come in and help her clean and stuff like that since she has all these health concerns and she's, of mature age. There are resources that will take that weight off of you. But what's going to have to happen is you're going to have to be the one to find them. Okay, you're going to have to line everything up and set her up so that you can make your escape. Okay, that's what's going to have to happen. You're going to have to contact social services in the area that you guys are moving back to and find out what she qualifies for and then, sign her up. I'm sure you have access to all her the only thing you would need is her I guess driver's license number and social security card and then sign her ass up. You know, that's what you are going to do. And then so the lot of the burden that's on you financially and taking care of her will be removed and it will be put into the hands of, the county or whatever state, whatever it is, it'll be put into their hands to help her assist her as a senior person who has worked her entire life. So, there's just not like the people like to call those entitlement programs. They're not, because as we work, they take that money out of our check to contribute to that. Disability, Social Security, all the stuff, they take that money out of our checks. So you working for 40 or 50 years, trust me, you deserve that little funky money that they give you because you already paid it. And they've been using your money free with no, like giving you no interest. So, people like to say that, um, oh, those are entitlement programs. The fuck they are. That's what you worked for all your life. So you make sure she gets some help, the help that she needs. That's why those programs are there, okay, to help seniors who need some help. They can't do it, do stuff by themselves anymore. All right, now let's move on to question number 12. Yeah, I hate that when people say, oh, these entitlement programs. You know what? Fuck you. Just because you got millions in the bank, that don't mean everybody does. And these people, just because they worked at some jobs that might have been minimum wage or a little bit above, that doesn't mean that they didn't work. Okay, they worked hard. Some of them had 2 or 3 jobs, and every one of their checks, those monies were taken out of their checks. So at the 40, 50 years of that, they deserve to get whatever they get at the end of their life to make themselves comfortable and before they pass on up out of here. So don't, it just drives me crazy. That makes me really upset when people say that and try to put people down and put this old people down for getting that kind of help that they need. Okay, let's move on. Question number 12, female 25 to 29 from what? Salford? Salford? Greater Manchester. My boyfriend and I have been good friends for almost 10 years, but only been dating for about 1 year. I am so popular in the UK, it's just unbelievable. The thing about being friends for so long is that I've met all of his exes, and I don't really care about most of them except for M. My boyfriend and M met in college and were inseparable for 2 years. When it all ended, he was miserable and still talked about missing her years after. Oh, his first love. From what I know, they broke up because he felt like he wasn't a priority in her life. She would cancel plans with him to hang out with her friends, reply to other people's texts before him, etc. They were friends first, and she apparently made more of an effort when they were just friends than when they started dating. He dated other girls after her, but she was the only one he kept up with on social media. Even 6 months before we started dating, he was still analyzing her Instagram stories, wondering if she posted pictures of her current boyfriend to spite him. Our friends and I had to tell him to stop and just unfollow her because it was unhealthy. Then we started dating. Things were amazing. Then last week I used his phone to look for mine and saw that he was on her Instagram. I brushed it off because I know we still get curious once in a while, but I've caught him looking 3 or 4 days in a row in the past week alone. He doesn't follow her, just open up her page and look at her stories. I don't know if this is recent or if I just never noticed before. But Deb, it's been 5 years. Is it possible he's still hung up on her, or is this simple curiosity? I don't want to bring it up because I don't want to sound insecure. How should I handle this? No, 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 no. You must bring it up. You must bring it up. And you need to understand something too. Um, this man, he's whining about this woman, talking about he missed her for years after, and he's still sniffing around behind her and talking about it. They've been broken up for years, and is she posting pictures to spite him? He's something is wrong with him. His mind is not right when it comes to this situation. If I were you, I would rein in my feelings and be out. Boop, deuces. Because there's nothing, this man is still in love with her. And from the sounds of it, he's going to be the kind of dude I talk about that he might get older and get married and have kids and everything. But if this girl came back into his life and did like this, and said, I want you now, he would drop his wife, forget about them kids, leave his job, leave everything he had to go and chase after that woman because that's who has his heart. And a lot of women just don't really want to accept that. They think, well, he can move on. Men don't move on like women do. They don't. Okay, I don't know. They try to say that they're so tough and stuff, but they are not. It's not obsessed. That's the way that they are. They get into a situation when they fall in love, they fall hard. Obsession is different. It's not obsession. That's a different that's a different behavior altogether. This is the kind of thing when they love that first time or whatever, that kind of love where they are just all in, they cannot let go. They cannot let go. The rest of his life, he's going to love this woman. There's like every single man I've ever met has been like that. Every single one. So don't brush it off as obsession. That's like putting paint over it. That's not what this is. This goes way deeper than that, and it's not sick and twisted like obsession is. This is his heart is just gone. And there's nobody else that could come and take it because it's wrapped up in her and it will be for the rest of his life. So, young lady, you need to just accept that and move on. Okay? You're still young enough that you could, what's the point of dating anyone? There is no point. There's no point. The point is only if you and another person uh have both reached the acceptance level of acceptance where you know that you still care about this person, but you've had some help, some therapy or whatever, and you can move past it, like put that in a corner of your heart. So say 25% of your heart is still tied to that person, but 75% is open to someone else, then you can do it. But that person is always gonna still be in love with that person. And as a woman, if you cannot accept that man is always going to have a corner of his heart that's in love with somebody else. If you can't accept that, then just stay single. Because that's the reality of it. Whoever that person is that got his heart first, that's going to always be on his mind, and she's going to always be on his heart. Even if she dies, she's going to still be there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Some women like that too, but usually women can, bounce back and move on better than men can. Men, I mean, they'll still talk about the woman that they loved when they was 15. Motherfucker 65. Why are you still talking about that? Yeah, but she left me like that. Ask your daddy and some of your old uncles and stuff about who is their first love. And see how their face changes when they start telling the story about how they fell for her and what she looked like. They remember what outfit she wore, how she used to do her hair, how she smelled. They remember every single thing about her. That's because that's the woman he still loves. Man, I'm telling you, they are a trip like that. They are a trip. They remember everything. Now, what's nice is if your man's first love. Like sometimes they love somebody, but they're not in love. Okay, so if you come along and he's in love with you and you his first in love person and you marry him, well then you got that. Okay, but if he was in love with somebody else, okay, so she said your dad is what he is. Well, there you go. But if he was in love with some other woman, but now he just with somebody that he loves, you know, I'm telling you, that's just so risky. Yep. That raggedy picture in them 1960s blue prom suits with the ruffled shirts. I'm just telling you, ladies, that's just the way it is, okay? I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm not trying to burst your bubble. I'm just telling you what you go. I like to give people reality checks because if you deal with a relationship and a man from a reality point of view, then you'll always come out on top. You'll always maintain your dignity and you'll know what's coming. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. The men are very easy to read. They're very predictable. Okay, and they'll show you, what you need to know, like right off the bat. But so many of you don't want to pay attention. You want to try to create some other story in your mind. Well, no, I'm going to make him this, or it can't be like that, or he didn't mean it. And it was, you try to turn it into something else. And I don't know what you be thinking, but it is what it is. And that's how it goes. Girl, them powder blue and them pink things and yellow. Oh, no. No. I saw some pictures of my cousins' weddings. I was like 7 or 8 in the picture, and they had them suits on in the wedding pictures. I was like, eesh, this is scary. Question number 13. Girl, don't be talking about the patchwork pill bottles now, because them was a bomb. Like my cousin had some of those. I wanted to borrow 'em, but they was too big. They were men's pants. I wanted to borrow 'em. Oh, okay, let's move on to question 13. We got 24 of these letters. Female 22 to 25 from Philly. I have a complicated situation. I don't know how to cope with it. I'm 23 and my man is 30. His girl is 3. We've been dating for 3 months and it's been a committed relationship from the beginning. He lives on his own and I live with my dad. I love to spend time with him and I like his daughter and she likes me too. But lately a lot of problems have come up. He said he needs more time with his daughter. He sees her almost every day at her mom's house and the mom is always there. And he stays alone with her 3 weekends per month. We argued a lot because of his ex-girlfriend. When he first met me, he told me that he could barely stand her. But now he says that they're friends, that they always had ups and downs, and helps her when she needs small favors. I can't stand the fact that they're always together in the same house with the kid. It seems too much for co-parenting. He also said I'm too jealous and that he needs space and time for himself for his hobbies. We barely discussed a couple of times because of other girls. Now we see each other often, but I will soon move out because of my master's degree. We will hardly see each other then. He has been having doubts about me and our relationship, which seemed perfect until a little while ago because of all this and because he feels sometimes I'm too immature for my answers and attitudes. I'm really struggling with this situation. We talked about it and we would like to stay together, but we both realize how hard it is. I'm scared it will get harder. What should I do? Break up. You only been with him 3 months and you're only 23 years old. He's 30 years old. He's too old for you anyway. And you got a baby and stuff, and you 23 still in school. What is wrong with you? This is a situation you should have never even got yourself involved in. Once he told you that he was a baby daddy with a 3-year-old, you would have been like, boop, I got stuff to do and I don't have time to play mama to your kid. Yo, miscellaneous straight ragamuffin. I don't have time for that. I'm 23. I got stuff to do. Places to go, people to meet. Not time to be nobody's mama. Okay? He the baby got a mama. And obviously, again, we're right in the same situation. That woman has his heart. That's why he want to be over there all the time. When a man doesn't want to like the woman anymore, he don't want to be around her. He's not trying to be around. He like, look, drop the kid off at your mama's and I'll pick her up over there. I don't want to see your bitch ass. That's how they are when they don't want to be around the woman. In fact, he go over there and spend all day and talking about their friends and stuff. And you the one with the problem now. That ought to tell you everything that you need to know. Dip out on this. I'm glad you're going away to go to your school because hopefully at the end of that you will have some sense because right now you are kind of lacking there. Question number 14, male 18 to 21 from Perth, Australia. I'm 21 and I'm still a virgin. Oh, I've never been on a date. I've never received a hug from the opposite sex. I'm pretty much a failure when it comes to dating. Oh my God. Wait, I need to find me a violin song that's playing in the background when I read letters like this. I try to not let it get me down, but when people bring up dating and stuff like that, it's hard. My parents constantly, and he put constantly in caps, bring up dating and my mom and my non-existent love life. Like I can't go see them without them bringing it up and asking me about any girls I'm interested in. As I said, I'm ashamed of how unsuccessful I am, so I just lie to them. I tell them there's no one I have feelings for and that I'm not trying to date, that I'm focusing on myself. Just whatever lie I can make up to make them think I want to be single. My campus is closed for spring break Friday, and I've been living with my parents for the last 2 days, and they've been nonstop driving me crazy. Telling me things like, you're allowed to date. College is the time you should start talking to women. Or my favorite, if you're gay, it's okay. You shouldn't not be yourself. They don't believe what I'm telling them and just keep trying to find the issue. I keep telling them I prefer not to talk about it, but they won't listen. I'm going to be stuck here with them for a week, and it's just too depressing to have to be reminded how much of an ugly fucking loser I am. How to get them to just stop talking? You know what your parents want? Assurance that are okay. This is what you do because you mentioned that they said that, but this is what I was thinking. They are concerned that you're not having any women on your life because you like men. So what you have to do is sit down with your parents and say, look, I'm just a late bloomer. Okay. I'm a late bloomer. I don't know what to tell you. It'll happen, but it's not happening yet. Leave me alone. And be assured I'm not gay. I do love women, but right now they don't love me. So I don't know what to tell you, Dad. I don't know what to tell you, Mom. You trying to push me and all you do when you say stuff like this is make me feel worse. You make me feel like a failure. It makes me not want to see you. It makes me not want to come over here because all you do is beat me up about something I don't control. And it makes me so upset. It makes me really not want to come over here and look at you. You need to stop. At least let me enjoy the time with my parents, and I don't get to enjoy time with any women like other young guys do. Put the play the pity card. And then, but the main thing I'm thinking is that they want reassurance that you really are heterosexual. So that's why they keep asking you. So you're gonna have to reassure them that, and you can use the speech I gave you. Put it your own words, to it. But that's the general message that you need to deliver to them. And, that they're making you sick, that they're hurting your feelings, that it's out of your control, that, you feel, worse every time they say it. That you're not, that you want women, but they don't like you as much as you like them, that kind of thing. So they can sit there and go, oh my God, my poor son. You want to flip it. You see what I'm saying? You want to flip the script. So instead of them being angry at you and blaming you, they'll feel sorry for you and be more supportive. Maybe hook you up on a date. Do you know how to date? Do you even know how to date? Do you have an older female cousin? Maybe a kind of youngish aunt, something like that. Someone who can, you can go on a mock date with so you can get your feet wet and see what it feels like. Go through the motions. That's what you need to help build up your confidence so that by the time it happens for real, you already know what to do. Right now, you're feeling worse and worse and you don't know what to do. If somebody did want to go out with you, you wouldn't even know what to say to her or how to make it happen. So you kind of need a dating coach, I think, and then you'll be all right. That's all you need. Okay. Let's move on to question 15 of 24. This is from a female in the 25 to 29 age group from Calgary, Canada. My boyfriend has asked me whether I would be open to us having an open relationship. He's 27 and I'm 25. We have been together for 6 years. Wow, y'all be just dating forever. And are committed to one another and have discussed children in the near future. However, before this happens, he has requested some time to explore sexually as we got together young. I have no interest in being with other people, and it took me a long time to feel comfortable with him. But he wants to experiment before settling down. I love him very much, and he claims to love me too. We have been through a lot together, and I know some more modernized takes on relationship has led to people thinking that love and sex are separate. However, I struggle with this notion. I guess I'm more traditional. What do I do? I'm scared that if I let him be with other people, it could ruin us, but he may break up with me anyway if he feels trapped. This ultimatum has me incredibly anxious. What do I do? What you do is G up, Miss 25-year-old. Okay, first you dating somebody forever, and you don't be having no babies with somebody you're not married to. That's the number one rule that you about to break, being stupid, trying to hang on to some knucklehead. Okay, so what you do is you tell him, you're right. We have been together since we were very young, and yeah, he loves her, but he just wants to. His right now, his little head is the one doing the talking. Uh, but right now, I can see that you're ready to do something else, and that's fine. I would never stand in your way of, doing what it is that you think you need to do. But the mistake that you're making though is that you think when you go out and do that I'm going to stay here wait for you. That's not going to happen. So once now that I know how you feel, I'm going to pack my things and I'm going to move out. And then you will have all the time and space in the world that you want to do all this experimenting that you want to do. Have at it. Don't feel guilty because I won't be here. It won't be an issue because we're no longer together. And that's how it's going to be. Because, we're not going to have an open relationship. That's not what I want. So, but if that's what you want, I'm not saying you can't have it. I'm just saying you can't have it and then still have me too. That's what I'm saying. And that's your right, and that's what you seem to be missing here. You're trying to figure out how you're going to do this and give him what he wants. That's not is the situation. You are a traditional person. You stick to what works for you, what your moral stance, whatever your value system is. You always stick to your program, ladies. You don't give up who and what you are to please some knuckleheaded man. Because just like he came, there's 55 million others waiting in the wings. Okay? And they'll just be just as much of a knucklehead as he is. So it's not like you missing anything. So be very calm when you talk to him about it. Tell him you've given this a lot of thought. And this is what what the conclusion that you have arrived at is very sad because you guys spent so much of your youth together, but that you're still young enough that you can go and find someone else, and so is he. And you wish him the best, and then you pack your stuff and you get ghost. That's what you do. Yeah. You're just feeling anxious because you know it's not what you wanted. You feel, but I'm telling you one thing: if you try to stay with him and you know that he's out dipping and dabbing with other women, your self-esteem will go down the toilet like a turd. Okay, it just flush be gone. You will hate yourself. You won't be able to look yourself in the eye. You'll just feel like nothing, like just trash. You have got to leave this situation like a G. Okay, you got to take charge of your life and tell him, what it is that you're going to do for yourself, for your life. He does not have to agree. He does not have to be on your same page, but you have every right to choose what book and what page of that book your life is going to be lived on. He can't choose that for you, and he shouldn't have that right. All right. Let's move on to question number 16. This is a male in the 40 to 45 age group from Los Angeles, California. I've been sick for over a year and was away for 4 months in Europe receiving experimental treatment. I came home to an empty house and found that my wife of 12 years had left me. Wow. What is with these chicks tonight? She hasn't called one time to ask how I'm feeling. I assume she's dating. When I asked if she wants a divorce, she said she has to think about it. Also, she keeps both of her profile pics on Facebook of our marriage as her profile pic. The other strange thing is she moved a mile down the road from me. She seemed to want nothing to do with me. I'm very ill, possibly terminal, and I just don't know how to deal with the situation. I can't believe she would treat me like this. I just don't know what to do. Can you provide me with a little guidance here? Yes, immediately change the beneficiary for your insurance policies. Don't tell her. I mean, this is the first thing that jumped into my mind. Immediately change them. Okay? Because even if you divorce, okay, you in California, right? Didn't I say he was in California? Yeah, this is a community property state. So whatever housing you own and all that stuff, that's just gonna go to her, depending on how you set it up. But most likely it's gonna go to her, so she's gonna get the house. Okay, if you have boats and cars and stuff, she'll get those. What she doesn't have to get is your insurance policy. So she does not have to benefit in a cash way from treating you like shit when you go. Okay, designated to your mother, designated to whatever this disease is that you have, society, designated to a black college, designated to some place that needs the money, which is not her. She don't deserve it. Okay, that's what you do. Do that tomorrow. All right. Do it before you get too sick where she can challenge it in court and say that you weren't at your full mental capacity, and so that she would be able to successfully challenge a change. You have a will, change that as well. Leave her $1. Like I said, she's gonna get the house anyway. But any cash and other things, stocks, bonds, all that kind of stuff, she don't you can will that to someone else. Handle your business, sir. It's not, and I mean, it's sad that she hit you when you down and this and that, but you asking her if she wants a divorce, she has to think about it. The answer to then means yes, because if the answer is no, then the answer would be no. The fact that you have to think about it is just a stall tactic because she's hoping you die before she can get before you swoop out and get her off of all these things so she can scoop in there and get all that money. So that's what I'm telling you. You better game on her. You better come in there strong and do what I told you to do. Do it tomorrow before you get too sick. I'm telling you. Do it while you're still well enough that people can verify that you had all your mental capacity. Do it tomorrow. Okay? This is important. Yeah, you could leave it to me. But I'll make good use of it. But I tell you, this is terrible. These people are just awful. I just don't even know what to say about these wives on these today. Question 17. This is a female in the 26 to 29 age group from the USA. USA, okay. I need to know if this is child abuse and or child neglect, please. My best friend is married to an abusive alcoholic. They're in their late 30s, both work full time and in the same career. She bears all the responsibilities. The children have severe behavioral issues and can barely speak. There's spoiled food, broken glass, a husband breaks things, toys and animal poop all over the house, including the walls. The kids don't listen, can barely speak, and they fight to the point where they bite and scratch each other and leave marks. Her son, age 3, hits especially his sister, who's 2. Her husband thinks it's funny and encourages it. He bends their son's leg so hard he screams and cries. You don't want to know what he does to her. He doesn't want the kids to go to daycare because he's afraid they'll tell what's going on. They have been currently enrolled. However, I found out he's been keeping them home. Days ago, he was so drunk he passed out and the kids escaped. Not the first time. Someone in the neighborhood brought them home and said they were wandering far from home. They have a pool and there are pools in the neighborhood. One of the kids found a gun and shot it. The bullet hole is still there. Her husband has driven drunk to the liquor store with the kids in the car. The youngest gets her diaper changed once a day. She's not potty trained and drinks soda all day long. She has dime-sized blisters on her butt. I can't even hold her because she soaks my clothes. I tell her, but she does nothing. I don't have kids. I feel like I can't say anything about her parenting. Our best friend has kids and has talked to her, but she gets defensive. I understand she's in an abusive situation and she's scared, but the kids. She has no family alienated but us. Speak out and he bans you. We open our homes to her, collected pictures, videos, texts. We've been offered to create a safety plan. We want to try to move in silence, but she ends up telling him everything. The gag is they're cops. He's been a cop longer and wins awards every month. No one has reported because she covers for him and because she needs a job if he decides to leave. She just back out there after having the kids. Because of his reputation, we don't think they'll believe her. We also fear retaliation. We've been friends for 10 plus years, but I'm angry with her. I've talked to her, but she shuts down. Isn't this child neglect and abuse? I strongly believe I have to say something to her again on behalf of the kids. If they didn't have kids, I'd stay out of it. It's bothering me. Okay, what you do? Where are you again? Hold on a second. USA, you didn't give me no information. Okay, we just gonna do wherever, whatever city you live in. Okay, there's always a news channel that has they do these kind of stories like expose type of stories. You got pictures, you got videos, you got all this stuff. Send it to them and you say these two parents are police officers in the city. The father of these children is being given awards every month for his exemplary service, yet this is how he treats his own children, 2 and 3 year olds in the household. Let them put that shit on the news and blast his ass out of commission. And that's what you do. So since y'all is too scared to do anything, because I wouldn't give a fuck. It's like, you come over here and try to act a big bad and all that stuff too. Just like you got a gun, I got one too, motherfucker. So you know what, we gonna have a shootout at the OK Corral? Let's do that. But it's like, these are babies. They're defenseless. And all this talking to the parents and stuff, that's not doing nothing. So you get somebody in there who can do something. Okay? Get a news channel involved. I'm telling you. You can't go to like social services right off the bat because those social workers and stuff work with police force. And so, especially if you don't know, say where you are. If it's a big city, they don't have that kind of influence. But if it's a smaller town, they know everybody knows each other. But what they don't know is the television networks, and what they don't know, once that gets on the air and it gets picked up, it broadcasts to everybody. Somebody in the state government is likely to see it as well and say, pick up the phone and say, what the fuck is going on down there? Y'all making us look bad. Okay? And then shit will happen. But that's what I would do. That's what I would do. And I would send it to the state police, and I would send it to the FBI, and I would just send it to everybody. Just why? Just because I could. Even if it's not their case, it's not their jurisdiction, I wouldn't care. I've been like, these are police officers, and when we're afraid for our lives, that's why we haven't reported it, because they both have guns. One of the kids that got a hold of the gun and shot the gun. But everybody in here's a cop covers for him. So we need some outside interference, some kind of law enforcement service that has more power than this local police department because they keep protecting him and the children are suffering for it. That's what you do. Just send it to everybody. Okay? And you can do that. You already got all the evidence. You can take those, I don't know if you know how to do it or you got a friend because they have they can put like all everything on one video, so it's not like multiple things. They can put the images on there on the DVD or whatever, they flash drive, whatever you want to do. Everything is in one spot, and you make multiple copies of it, and you send it to everybody. Put their home name, their parents' both names, and their addresses, what their job titles are, where they work, all the information that you have on them. Put it in there, and then send it. I'm not crazy. One thing I'm telling you is I don't play when it comes to little kids. I mean, I just can't do that. Yeah, cops are the stats on. Yeah, there are stats on cops and any kind of law enforcement deputies, cops, sheriffs, prison guards, all that kind of stuff. The number one domestic abusers. And most of the time, they get away with it because, The women try to report it, and they bury the case, they cover for each other, that kind of stuff. So that's why, you can't report to the local district, the locals, where because they're going to cover for him. You got to go to somebody above them with more power and influence on a state level, or like I said, a television station, because they don't give a fuck. They going for what's going to give them some ratings and cause a stir. That's what they want. So yeah, it's terrible because when I used to be on the board of directors of a battered woman shelter here in Oakland, and I tell you, it was just sad. Most of the women that were in that shelter had husbands in law enforcement. I was shocked because I'm like, what happened to protect and serve? And then, of course, now here it is 20 something years later, and we see them, kneeling on people's necks and killing people outright. So I'm not sure. I'm thinking there's a certain type of personality that's attracted to being a cop, and those types of people are power hungry and abusive mentally, and that's why they do so well, and that's why they want that kind of work so they can lord it over people and wield that kind of power. They're not trying to do it to, protect anybody. They're trying to do it because they want to control people. Well, firefighters maybe, but they don't have the power to arrest nobody like cops do. Put you in jail and trump up cases against you and that kind of stuff. They're just a nightmare. Let's move on. But anyway, that's what you do. Okay, start working on that and get that going. Send that to every news channel you can think of, every magazine that you can think of that's in your area. Everybody, send it to everybody. They're gonna need that kind of coverage to protect them two kids. Question number 18, female, 25 to 29, Brisbane, Australia. When my supervisor was a kid between the ages of 10 and 13, he and his best friend were little jerks toward other classmates and people's pets. This is what he said were things that they typically used to do: shoplift at stores, egg houses, cheat on tests, tease and nickname some classmates, cover people's pets with mud, say boo or throw tiny little rocks at them to scare them. Another kid decided to befriend them and join in their fun. They found him cool the first couple of months until he started with twisted things, such as asking why people cry at funerals, showing them several articles of Mary Bell, the 11-year-old child killer, or claiming that he did meaner things and what they did is nothing. One day, the kid brought rat poison to school to show them. He wanted to use that on someone's pet and had a smile on his face. They stopped talking to him ever since. Even at that age, they both thought that was going too far and pure evil. Kids and teens by nature are immature and can be mean, but even so, at that age, you can tell you can still tell if something goes beyond the limit, right? Beyond the kids and teens can be mean thing. If something is seriously going too far, can they tell? Yeah, they can tell. I mean, kids are very smart. I don't know why people think kids, even little babies, can know stuff like that. Some of the kids can't even talk, and they'll say bad. They know that word, and they can make that judgment and say bad. That's bad. So and so is bad, mama. That's bad. And they know what that means. So when you have kids that exhibit this kind of behavior so early in life, that's what's called antisocial personality disorder. There's a video on the channel about it, and in it, it covers a lot of the behaviors that they exhibit. Torturing and killing pets is one of them. Starting fires is another one. Bullying people is another one. Forcing intimacies, shall we say, on people, other kids. And then as they get a little older, on, children, young women, and sometimes even young boys. Um, Cutting classes is a frequent one. Lying. Oh my God, they lie about everything. There's a whole bunch of traits. I don't know. That's all that's coming to mind right now that I remember. But they tend to be just very abusive, and they like to see people upset and in pain, and they like to see animals in pain. They like to hear pain, like screaming, and the animals, they the sounds that animals make when they're hurt, ew, ew, that kind of stuff. They get off on that, and so these parents, a lot of them, they have these kids that do that kind of stuff, and they just like, oh, they just blow it out. Oh, that's just being a kid. It's not. No, you need to put your kid in some therapy immediately before he turns into Edward Kemper. You be finding bodies under your house and all kind of shit like that. These kids, there's something wrong with them. Okay, I don't know what that is, and 99% of the time is boys. I don't know. But anyway, to answer your question, yes, they can tell. Question number 19, male, 22 to 25 from Los Angeles. Well, it says Los Angeles from Manila, Philippines. I'm 22 years old and writing for help. My parents and I immigrated to USA 5 years ago, so please excuse my English as it is my second language. I need advice. My 70-year-old father is literally killing himself taking care of my disabled mother, and I don't know what to do about it. Where are you? Los Angeles, okay. My mother has never been an easy person to get along with. Personally, she's always downright mean to me my whole life, but that's a whole different letter. The main problem is that she refuses to compromise on pretty much everything. She is 60 now, but has been physically disabled for 30 years, and because of this, she needs to be lifted for transferring from the bed to her chair, and from her chair to the toilet, from her chair to the car, etc. This has always been a fine arrangement between my parents, but my father is really starting to age recently, and my mother has put on a lot of weight. She has been saying for years now that she had to lose it, but like I said, she would not compromise on anything, so there has been no changes. It's really harming my father physically. It's gotten to the point where he has a hard time walking because he is sore, and if she grabs on his neck, so his head always hurts. In addition to this, in recent years, she has really started taking advantage of everything he does for her. She won't clean up after herself, but yells at him to do it. She will not change any of her behaviors, even when it makes it easier on him. He should be retired, but he has to keep working because he cannot afford to take care of the both of them otherwise, and he works a manual labor job. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I can do anything. I already took him aside and told him things cannot keep going like this because it's just going to end badly for both of them. He knows, but I don't think he sees an alternative. I obviously love them both, which is why this is so stressful. Literally, any advice you have would be helpful. Yes, call in home support services immediately, like tomorrow morning. You're going to apply for in-home support services for your parents because your dad is 70. He needs some help too. You're gonna get somebody up in that house that's gonna cook and clean, and they have the actually it's called I think it's called a Hoyer lift. Anyway, I don't know what kind of arrangement your house has, and if it has room for this thing because it's big. But basically, it helps lift the handicapped person. You hook it onto them, and it lifts them mechanically from the wheelchair to the toilet bowl, from the toilet bowl back to the wheelchair. It lifts from the wheelchair to the bed, from the bed back to the wheelchair. And so it wouldn't be something your father would have to do with his own, physical strength. And they could bring that, and install it in the house. And so he can, that would help out in that situation. You also, by having an in-home support service, he'll be able to go out and work, and someone will be there at the house with your mother helping her, feeding her, washing her up, changing the sheets, doing the laundry, all this kind of stuff. And it will be somebody, and you pay them on a sliding scale. Since your mother's disabled, she should be able to apply and get, some disability. A disability payment, a pension, or whatever, and that can go towards helping pay for the services. There are all kinds of services available for seniors and the disabled if people know what to look for. I can understand that since you guys are from, just here for 5 years from the Philippines, there are a lot of things that you probably don't know. But most of them have translators on staff that speak, like, especially here in California, like 19, 20 different languages. So someone there will be able to speak. I don't know if you speak, what is it, Tagalog, or what's the other one that a lot of people speak, but it's mostly Tagalog, I think. And you'll be able to they'll communicate to them in their native tongue to make sure that they understand what they're getting into, what they're signing, and what their fees, their co-payments would be, and all this kind of stuff. I understand that you're a student, but I'm sure that work at some little part-time job or something. You can help chip in and help pay for that too. Says you're going to be taking care of your parents. That's what happens when you're the kid and your parents are getting older. Somebody's got to help them. So, you can't, of course, be there to do all of that, but you're going to make some calls, and you're going to line some stuff up so your parents can get the help that they need, because they're both in that category of needing help, and they're both seniors that, need some assistance. Okay. That's what you're going to do. Yeah. Well, they may decide that. They may decide that it's too much for in-home support services. They'll send social workers out, to do an assessment, and they'll make a recommendation. And the recommendation could very well be that they put her in a nursing home. Your father's probably not going to want to do that, but that would be the best thing if that's the recommendation they make. If they think the case is too much for in-home support services, sometimes you can get 24-hour care, or you can get, 16 hours a day, somebody from the morning 8 hours, and somebody in the evening 8 hours, and another 8 hours she sleep. So, it just depends on what the needs are, and they'll do that assessment. This is a statewide program. And it's opening back up. They were trying to do stuff online, but now the governor Newsom has kind of rolled back some of the things that we're in the yellow and orange category now, so that social workers can go back out to people's homes and do these assessments face to face. They're getting vaccinations, and they have everybody will be masked and gloved up and all this little stuff. But they'll come in, they check out the house, they'll see her, meet everybody. Thanks, DC, and make their recommendation for a number of hours that you would need if in-home support services, what your copayment would be. Like I said, they'll apply for state for Medi-Cal for you to help cover it. I mean, they do everything. It's a wonderful, wonderful service for the seniors of the state of California. Please look into it tomorrow, okay? Do it tomorrow. Don't wait, because it takes a while, to get approved and everything. So you need to get that going like right away. Question number 20. This is a female in the 30 to 36 age group from Philadelphia. I love your show and the real advice you give. You have really helped me feel more confident taking up space and owning my feelings. I recently went through a breakup and would love your perspective on my role in it of our short relationships. We only dated for 4 months, but during that time, things were great. We had a lot of fun together. We shared a lot of the same beliefs and viewpoints. He was very generous, and overall, I thought we had a great relationship that could lead to marriage. The only downside I saw was his relationship with his father and how that affected his view of himself. My ex-boyfriend worked at his dad's practice, but his dad was verbally and emotionally abusive. His father would yell at him in front of patients. He would tell him he was fired, that he would call him stupid, and would constantly threaten to replace him with another doctor. Wow. When I asked my boyfriend why and how he could continue to put up with that horrible treatment, he would say he had put in too much time and effort to quit or go work somewhere else. So he planned to put up with his father's behavior until he retired and hope his dad would get a practice to him. It was hard for me to understand why my boyfriend would complain about his dad's behavior, but he wouldn't do anything about it. I think where I went wrong was seeing the way my boyfriend handled this situation made it hard for me to trust that he could be a good leader or provider for a future family, even though he's currently making good money. He seemed to have such a limited mindset, whereas I have a growth mindset. We had a big disagreement over Valentine's Day weekend, and he said he didn't feel like he made enough money for me. He said I could be with any man I want who made way more than him. He called himself a loser and said he wasn't good enough for me. He said he wanted me to say I would be with him no matter how much money he made. He left my house that weekend, and I haven't heard from him since. He ghosted me. Should I have been more trusting of him and his leadership ability? Was I wrong to be concerned about the relationship with his dad and the security of his finances when his dad could decide to fire him or cut his pay on a whim? I'm confident in myself and know there are other good men out there, so I have been able to move on and keep dating. But I would love your feedback on what, if anything, I could have done better in this situation. Nothing. You were dealing with a dude who is in an abusive relationship with his own father, and obviously he has, low self-esteem. He called himself a loser and all that kind of stuff. There's nothing that a woman can do with a man who has low self-esteem. Nothing. He's going to constantly need reassurance. I mean, like this thing, he wants you to be with him no matter how much money he makes. No, I'm not going to do that, because that could be in a situation where we got a mortgage and we got a couple of kids, and then you decide that you don't want to go to work and you try to put everything on me, and you think I'm going to stay with you because after all, I'm going to stay with you no matter how much money you make. Fuck that shit. That's not going to happen, Captain. So, you're going to pull your fair weight around here. And it's a dude with a medical, he's a practicing doctor, and he wants to work in there with his father. I mean, I could see that, but, he could have started his own practice, just like you said, if he's that good. We always need good doctors. So, I actually applaud you for being able to connect the dots, because a lot of women just look at the fact, well, he's a doctor, and so he's going to be making a lot of money, and so, I won't have to worry about money, and, he's got certain status, and then when his dad dies, he'll get to practice, and there's no guarantee of that. The way his father's acting, he's likely to sell the practice when he retires, and your boyfriend will just be out on his ass. That's most likely what's going to happen, because this father sounds like that kind of person that would do that and put his money in his pocket and go on about his life, with his retirement and stuff, and just leave your boyfriend hanging. So I think you made a good call to tell him that and to recognize that, someone who can't stand up to their own father is not going to really be in a position to stand up to any other person to protect you and to protect his children. It's not in him to do. He's just, this that milk toast dude I be talking about. Yeah, I can't deal with a dude with no cojones, no kind of self-esteem. I just can't do it. So he's calling himself a loser and saying he's not good enough for you. And you say, I would have told him, you know what, you're right. Whatever you believe that you are, you're right. Who am I to argue with you when you tell me who you are? So it's been nice knowing you. I wouldn't have waited for him to ghost me. I would have sent him on his way. As soon as a man tells me, oh, I'm a loser, I'm like, ooh, yeah, you sure are. Bye. I can't do it. Let's move on to question 21, male 30 to 35 from Mansfield, UK. My wife lost her mum to cancer 2 days ago. She now wants to move our family, which is me, a 3-year-old, and a 6-month-old, back into her old family home to live with her dad. I need some impartial advice because everyone I can speak to about this is too close to the situation. My mother-in-law was diagnosed with cancer 9 days ago and died on Saturday night after a very short battle. Wow. My wife is obviously distraught. She's a very loyal and caring person and straight away is worrying for her dad having to live in the house all alone. While on her deathbed, my wife's mum asked her if she would move in with her dad so he wouldn't be lonely. My wife is now set on this happening. I love my father-in-law. He's an amazing and kind guy, but I just don't want to uproot our entire life we built in our house to live in their house. My wife's dad is 65, so it's not exactly elderly, so he doesn't need care. We live in a nice ass house, nothing fancy, but it's ours. We own it. My wife's plan is that we would put this house up for rent just to cover the mortgage, then move in her dad's house rent free. So obviously we'd be a hell of a lot better off financially, plus we'd have child care on tap. My main worry is losing a space to call our own, not being able to sit in the living room in my boxers or just fart and forget a towel in the bathroom and just walk through the house starkers to get one. But my wife thinks this is all trivial. My dude, what you worried about here is just hysterical. Okay. My wife's parents were married for 40 years and they lived in my wife's childhood home with 3 kids full of life and noise, and now it's just the dad left. The thought is eating my wife up, and I also hate that thought, but that's life, isn't it? I feel like such a horrible person for saying that. Please help me. Don't feel horrible because I'd be saying the same shit. You come and you go. That's just the bottom line. Okay, first of all, I'm not seeing it here anywhere where anybody talked to the dad. What does he want? Like you point out, he's only 65. It's not like he's, old about to die. Good health is, I take it. So he's moving around. He could get in another relationship. He could move somebody else in there and be screwing up a storm and having all kinds of parties and walking around the house butt naked himself, right? He might not want you guys there, all that noise, little screaming kids and all that old stuff. Did anybody ever ask him that? Did anybody ever ask him if he wants to babysit? You just planning on parking your kids with him involuntarily? Did you ask him if that's what he wants? Is he okay with that? Nobody asked him. I'm not seeing anywhere in here where you had a conversation with this man about what he wants. Your wife is listening to her mother said on her deathbed. Of course she's gonna agree to it because her mother's on her deathbed. She's feeling all okay, mom, okay. But that doesn't mean you're gonna do it. No. So this is what I suggest for you. Be a man and you go over to talk to the father and say, this is what I heard happen on the deathbed. Your daughter wants to move us all up in here. I don't want to move up in here. I want to have my own house where I can make noise when I'm screwing and all kind of stuff will be happening that I can't do in the house with my wife's father. But I want you to tell your daughter that that's not going to happen. And I want to know what you want to do. Do you want to stay in this house or do you want to sell it and move to some senior retirement community where you can be around other people your age? Whatever you want to do, I will help you, I will help it make it palatable to your daughter. Okay? That's what you need to do. Your wife is, she's grieving, and so of course she's thinking about pleasing her mother and all that kind of stuff, but not at the expense of your family having it and you having your autonomy under your own roof. Don't allow that. Tell that absolutely is not going to happen. And I don't know how far the father lives away from you guys, but I'm sure she could drive there And, in a day or a couple hours at the most, or 10 minutes, I don't know where he is from you guys, but wherever it is, she can drive there and check on him a couple of times a week and take the kids with her. And then maybe if they want to spend the night over there, they can do that. And then they can bring their happy asses back home. See, if I was a grandfather, I would want to grieve in peace because having a daughter there buzzing around, having some little screaming kids running around, because those are small children, making noises, pooping diapers, and just all that screaming. No, this man is old. Is an older guy. He's used to a quiet house now, and he is, he lost his wife. I mean, give him some private time to grieve in a way that's going to work best for him. He needs to pack up his wife's stuff. I mean, there's a lot that this man has to do, and that doesn't mean he wants a bunch of people moving into his space and just bugging the crap out of him every day. Dude, you're gonna have to. I'm telling you, don't listen to your wife. Go over there just man to man. Don't bring her. Man to man, and you go sit down with the dad. Maybe take him to lunch or something. Do something. Go fishing. I mean, whatever you guys do to bond, do that with him and tell him what's going on and find out what he wants, and then you help what he wants happen. Okay, that shows respect, and that shows that you have his back, and it shows that you are supporting him and you are helping him grieve in the way that's the best way for him. That's how you need to do this. Do not let your wife go all half cocked on her emotions and all this old stuff. She just reacted emotionally and to she don't need to be there. She's gonna be crying all of them. Dad, are you okay? Oh my God. And making it about her. Typical. Question number 22. We got 24 questions and these look long too. Oh, just this one. Okay, female 40 to 45 from Portland. I appear to have become embroiled in an FWB situation, which is almost a year old now. Is FWB just another way of saying that you aren't ready to commit or that you don't like someone enough to go that extra step? We have a very strong physical attraction and chemistry and have a good time together sexually, which makes ending it difficult. But I do want and need more than this arrangement can give me. I'm not sure what to do or what I'm asking, but how do things like this usually progress or end? For background, I'm 18 months out of a long 20-year marriage with 2 children. This has been a good chance to experiment with someone else as my ex-husband was my first and only partner. Girl, wait a minute. Okay. This is how you do this when you have a FWB. You don't have no commitment. So you liking the eggplant and it's all lovely and wonderful and fantabulous and all of that stuff. But you know what? You can have that same thing with 2 or 3 other people because you ain't committed. So you're gonna have Mr. Monday and Wednesday, and then you're gonna have Mr. Tuesday and Friday, and then you're gonna have your Saturday man, and then on Sunday you could rest. That's how you do that because you're single and you're not committed. You're not married. You don't owe nobody no explanations. You get yours and you enjoy yourself because you've been stuck for 20 years with the same raggedy dick. I could not imagine. That's the only dick you've ever had in your whole life, girl. There is like a whole field of dicks out there. Just wait until you time. It's just be like skipping through the forest. Oh look, I'll have that one there. Oh, and that looks nice. Oh, I'll pick that too, and let me have a little of that, and I'll take 2 of those. That's it. Okay. Now, what you will find is that sometimes they just are very disappointing. They don't quite, you know, meet your expectations, but that's okay because you still have the experience. Okay. I'm just saying, like rainbow bright, just like don't get hung up on one situation. You got out of a marriage and you got one. You okay? So now you had 2 dicks, and you thinking that's something that you need to be concerned about. Talking about it's gonna be hard to let this go. This has always been my motto. Let me tell you, this is my motto. Okay, this was really good. Okay, this was really good. But the next one is gonna be like, ooh, shit. And one after that, it's like, God damn. And then one after that is, ooh. Okay, and the other one after that is like, okay, and you get my point. So, and as men get older and they know more and more about what they doing, Up to a certain point, then they start needing Viagra, then it becomes like kind of redundant. But up until a certain point, I mean, it's just they get more skills in that area, right? So then they know better what to do. So it gets better and better as they get a little older. I don't know why you can't. I'm just being honest. See, that's what y'all is not used to, being around older women that just tell you to do the deal. You got all them people lying to you and telling you all kind of bullshit. I'm telling you, that's the way it is. So you don't be worried about that. You can go on out there and get yours. You've been stuck with one dick for 20 something years, girl. I would lose my mind. That would never work. Mm-mm. So anyway, that's always been my motto, and I've never been disappointed. Because I mean, except for a few, little failures here and there, little disappointments. Them little Johnny quickies that just can't last for too long. They be too excited. So I don't know what their problem is. But do you, as you get, you meet these dudes, and they just be like, oh shit, wait a minute, what your name is again? What's your number? I need to call you. What's your mama's number? What's your email? What's your Facebook? What's your Twitter? I need to be in contact with you in every way possible. Okay, then you move on and do the same thing with the next one. You don't get to be an old woman and you only screwed one person. Okay, that's what people be like. That's just wrong. It's like, we ain't worried about that. We got dudes be like, that's just trifling. You should be in love. You should just be with one man. Why don't you just be with one woman then? Let's see how that works for you. Don't tell me what to do. I'm going to do just what you do. Yeah. Uh-uh. Girl, yes, rotation. I'll always have a rotation of at least 3. That's my man. Until you decide you're going to be in a committed relationship. Until then, you just enjoy yourself. Don't get pregnant. And protect yourself from disease. Don't mess with nobody's husband. Don't mess with nobody's baby daddy. But other than that, it's open season. Any race, color, or creed, it's all open season. Yeah, because how you going to know what flavor you like if you try them? It's just like going into Baskin and Robbins. 51 flavors. That looks tasty. I think I'll have that today. Yeah, they lie, but if you can't go to their house, they be like, oh, I can't go. They don't want you to come to their house. That's your sign. Back the fuck up. Leave them alone. They guys want to just come to your house? Don't fuck with them. Okay, this is not hard. Okay, most men want you to come to their house because they don't have to go nowhere. It's like a cheap date. But you got a dude who constantly just want to come to your house. He don't want to go. You can't come to his. Don't fuck with him. He's telling you right there there's somebody at his house. That's such an easy fix. I don't know why women don't do that and know that. He got all these excuses. He got be whispering on the phone and shit, calling me at all kind of odd times of night and weird times and stuff. He hiding in the closet and shit. Talking in his car. He's supposed to be going to the grocery store to pick up milk and diapers and stuff, and he in there talking to you. All that kind of weird stuff. And you know it. You know what's up. Don't be trying to act like you don't know. Let's move on now. Anyway, yes, enjoy yourself, lady. You just got out of a 20-year torture session. And have fun. Question number 23. Female, 26 to 29, out of Seattle. I had my first baby early in February. 2 weeks earlier, when my husband was in the loo, and I had a sense something wasn't right, I checked his phone. Thousands of messages from one woman. His old friend who we never talked about. I always knew he liked her. Never ignore your gut. I confronted him, and he admitted everything. 18-month affair, all those work trips were fake. But they hadn't seen each other in person since the, since the other woman found out about my pregnancy. I'm like, what is this acronym? I think lockdown helped keep them apart, too. I made him delete her from everywhere, and he called to tell her that they couldn't carry on. But I think they're back in touch now. He's back to using his phone all the time. The thing is, he's a great dad to our 2-month-old baby, and I haven't told anyone, no family, not even my best friend. I'm not sure where to start. I'm shattered. I don't know what I want. He doesn't seem to know either. He says he's in love with her, but wants to support me and be a good father. Do the right thing. I've asked if it wasn't for me, would he be with her? And he said yes. Sorry, I know you hate long letters, but I'm so lost and I don't have anyone to talk to apart from him, and I can't trust him at all. I feel ashamed, alone, angry. Has anyone else been through this? Okay, this is the second letter in 2 weeks. When was that other one? Friday, maybe? Or somebody's asking, has anybody else been through this? Who gives a fuck? Okay, you don't worry about what some else other dumb broad is doing. You worry about the dumb shit you're doing. Okay, and you have got a man in your face, telling you that he's in love with another woman. If it wasn't for you, he would be with her, and you still there. How much disrespect are you going to take? I know you just had this baby and your hormones are racing and you feel like you're confused and all this old shit. You're not confused. You just don't want to do what you know you need to do because you're scared. But he said he's going to support you, right? And you make sure that happens. So tomorrow, you make some calls and find out where you and the baby is going to go. Okay? Then you call and you get you divorce attorney. And then you file for child support and alimony. And if y'all own your house, you file for half of that. If y'all own cars and all that stuff, you file for half of that. Whatever you can get half of, you get it. Okay, then you be up and out. Because he want to be over there in love with that bitch and that, all this old stuff, then let him go be there. There's nothing you can do here. You trying to fight a losing battle. You cannot convince, beg, whine, plead, negotiate, cajole, navigate, or anything else, a man, guilt trip, nothing, him into loving you. You can't do that. Okay, so just accept the fact that this marriage is over. It was over probably while you were pregnant, right? Now you say he's a great dad, that's fine. When he gets, his visitation and stuff, he can be a great dad. That's wonderful. I don't have no problem with that. He can be a great dad that way. But that doesn't mean because he's a great dad, it doesn't mean that he's a great husband. And that's where you seem to be getting confused. Okay? You're mixing them up. You are not the baby. That baby is his flesh and blood. Men can change wives like they change drawers. Wives can change husbands like they change bras. It doesn't matter. Okay, that's I mean it's great and it's wonderful and people in love and they have all these visions of for happily ever after and all that shit, but we see the divorce rate worldwide, it ain't that fabulous, okay? So you just have some accepting to do here and start telling people because you're going to need that support. Obviously, you're still in shock about it, especially the way that you found the thousands of messages from one woman. And it's an old friend, you say. You always knew he liked her. That's probably, again, like what I said earlier, his first love. She's always had his heart. And so now she's back on the scene, even though he's married with you and got a baby. He want to be with her. I keep telling you all, this is how it is. It just, I don't know why people don't want to listen to me. They want to argue about it. But no, he married me. We married. This and that. That don't mean shit. As you see, that's where his heart, that she has his heart. That's where he wants to be more than he cares about that baby, more than he cares about you, more than he cares about his parents, more than he cares about anything on this planet. He wants to be with that woman. Let him be there. Be happy for him that he found somebody that loves him and that he loves back. Okay, don't be one of them grudgeful folks. Thanks, Ravania. I don't know this, but I think this is a very important lesson for women to grasp. You know, you cannot make a man love you. You can't bang him or guilt trip him into loving you. You can't negotiate. You can't say, "But we married. I'm your wife." How dare you? Don't matter. He's just gonna be looking at you like, "Okay, Ann. Okay, so G up. Have some pride about yourself. Don't be letting no man talk to you and treat you like that." But I mean, I have to admit, dude, I had courage. I'm sure he was nervous, but he's in love with her and he wants to do the right thing. If it wasn't for me, would he be with her? And he said yes. That's it. You could have just wrote that one paragraph and that's all I needed for this letter. All right. I'm not seeing a whole bunch of likes hit. Yeah, y'all please hit the likes up in here. Hit the likes. I saw people there listening. Y'all probably listening with your mouths hanging open and just can't believe what you're hearing. And you forgot to hit the like button. That's what probably happened. So I appreciate all the super chat donations. Thank you very much for your support. And you know what? I got them. some donations. They don't come for like a couple of months, but um, I felt confident enough. I went out and got me a kettlebell, a big one, a 25, 20, what, 20 something. Anyways, 20 something pound one. I had like two 10-pound ones. But I'm like, no, I need something bigger. I need something stronger so I can get my muscle back. But I'll show y'all my kettlebell next time on Friday. Thanks, y'all. Yes, hit the like. Hit the like. Hit the like. Yeah, I'm trying to get in shape before we have our party. I've been walking around on crutches and a boot and stuff and everything. I lost a lot of muscle mass because I was so injured. And but I'm like, oh no, I can't be letting them see me looking like this. I can't half walk and stuff. I already can't wear my cute shoes because my ankle and my foot's all fucked up. But at least I don't have to be looking all like a blimp. So I'm gonna get my muscle tone back. That's what I'm gonna be working on. So let's go and move. Say thanks, you guys. I see the likes creeping up slowly. Thank you very much for your vote of confidence. If you're not a subscriber to this channel, please hit that subscription button as well. We made 25,000 subscribers last month, finally. So now we going for the big 50. Going for the big 50. That'll probably take about a year. Okay, we got the last letter of the evening, everyone. This is question number 24, the last question of What the Fuck Tuesday for April 6, 2021. This is from a young lady in the 20 to 25 age group from Memphis. So I recently revealed to the guy that I like him, but he told me that he had basically stopped dating and pursuing women for now. The reason being that all the women he has been trying to date ended up not being interested in him, so he basically gave up and is just enjoying being single. I actually know one of the women he tried to date who turned him down. He's not what most women would consider attractive, so I think his looks may be playing a role. But other than that, I don't know why they keep turning him down. I'm attracted to him, and I think he's a great guy. I'm just curious as to why a man who's being rejected by other women would turn down a woman who is actually showing interest in him. Any thoughts? Yes, because men don't pick women in a way that makes any sense. They dicks pick their women for them. So he's going after the women who his dick likes. Okay, understand that. You talking about a young cat. And then, you in the 22 to 25 age group, so he's probably, somewhere in that age group. They pick women with their dicks. Okay, let's get that straight. You looking for him to be like all highbrow, like he's a mature grown man and gonna pick it with, well, we have a similar outlook on life. We have similar values, and our core values are the same, and our dreams and visions, our ideas about parenting and our ideas about a relationship are on par. And this and that. Our families are alike. We have a lot of financial goals. Okay, that's something like somebody 35 or 40 might think, but no, even they pick women with their dicks too. So you're trying to use some kind of logic that does not exist in the mind of a male. Okay, he's looking for the woman that makes his dick hard, and you looking for him to pick you because you like him. That's not how it works. Okay, that's not how it works. So he would rather get rejected 55 million times by the woman who turned him on than be with the woman who doesn't really turn him on but who likes him. When men enter into situations like that, the women end up getting used. So you don't really want this, even though you asking this question. Make sure you understand my answer and that you never enter into a situation like this where a man gets with you just because you like him. The relationship will be very dissatisfying for you. You will constantly be pitching around trying to get him to show affection, spend time with you, hold your hand, kiss you, make love to you, show affection for you, give you respect and courtesy, and just, talk to you. I mean, when a man is into you, you don't have to ask him for those things. He's like all up in your face. You be trying to look, can you back up so I can breathe some air by myself? You just sucking all the air away from me. I'm breathing recycled air because of you. You breathing it all first with your big lungs and stuff. But that's how they do when they, really into you. You can't get rid of them. They're all up in your face like this. Okay? They want to touch you every second. They're just like everywhere. But you got a man that you're trying to, navigate and negotiate and compromise into being in a relationship with you. That's never going to work. Why would you even ask him that? I mean, I'm glad you asked me, so I hope you understand now, okay? You never ask a man that. And it's great that you think he's a great guy, but he doesn't think that you're a great woman, and so he's not picking you. He's going after the woman that his dick points him to, and that's not you, okay? It's just that plain and that simple. I like, what you guys want from me? I mean, this channel is the truth channel. That's it. That's what I'm going to tell you. What is the truth? What is the real deal with men? That's what I'm telling you. I wish my dad was still alive. 'Cause I swear I could have had him on as a guest, and y'all would be just like, your worlds would be rocked. Because that man was crazy. Absolute nut. But, 90%, well, no, I'd say probably about 60% at this point in my life of what I know about men, I learned at his knee. The other I learned from life experience and my player ass friends because I always had a lot of men friends and it was always dogs. They always treated me really well. I was like the baby sister to them, but they upped me on so much game, it was just terrible. So that's why I try to share all of that with you, right? So you don't have to go through all of that as long as you listen. Listen, don't argue. Okay, I'm telling you stuff that men have told me that they do. I've watched them do it. Okay, my own brothers. I've watched them do it. So this kind of stuff, a lot of you have this like pie in the sky thing. Oh, it's so romantic. He loves me and he said this, he say, and you want to go on all of that kind of romance drivel when people are telling you the real deal about men. Y'all need to listen. You can save yourself a lot of heartbreak, a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of energy to save your bodies because you wouldn't be having their kids, all kind of stuff. We're going to be doing a new series. I've already done laid the groundwork. I'm going to be doing a 12 video series. We're still arguing about the title, but basically it's called Deb's 12-step program for how to not be a silly woman. But we're kind of debating that title. It may be the stupid woman, dumb and stupid, silly and stupid. I mean, there's going to be some variation there, but basically, I'm going to have 12-step program on why you need to do these things so that you don't be stupid out here in these mean streets of dating. Okay, it should be very, very interesting. Right now it's still in my head. I have to kind of put my mind to it and get it all wrapped up, but it's gonna be some shit like you ain't never seen before on this channel or anywhere on YouTube. I promise you that. Anyway, thanks you guys for coming through What the Fuck Tuesday. Please tell a friend about the channel and about the show. We'll be here on Friday for Flummox Friday and do this all over again. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I did. I was gonna be still scratching my head about some of these people that are like, what in the world are you thinking? But that's what it is on What the Fuck Tuesday. That's what we do and that's what we say. I see y'all on Friday night.